Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Just Listen to One podcast. And I am going to be reading / talking about Pennywise. As you can tell from the picture, I'm gonna try if I'm talking about a certain person or a certain topic, I'm gonna try to put that topic about that person or thing as the background instead of a picture of me. But I'm going to try to, but if I can't, then I will be putting a picture of me. But just that I should let you know, and as you can tell from last week, I am going to be posting every single Saturdays now in the morning. And I'm going to be uploading a video Saturdays, and it could be uploaded anywhere from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So anywhere around that time frame on a Saturday will be a podcast for you guys. So as you can tell, I am going to be talking about Pennywise. So I have about 4 to 5 links that I'm going to go off of and kind of my notes in a way to talk about Pennywise. So let's just get right into this podcast. This one I'm going to list about 10 facts about Pennywise that is terrifying clown from Stephen King, It's movie. Number 1, Stephen King wanted Pennywise to be a clown because clowns terrified children. It's a fear of clowns that had been around before Stephen King began writing the book It in the early 1980s. Why are clowns perceived as scary outside? Some historians point to the role of the court jester who could evade punishment from the royal courts and was therefore perceived as being exempt from regular social standards. Pennywise memorial enemy as a turtle. So, in the defense of narrative of it, Pennywise seemed to embody some of the most victorious evil in the universe. So Pennywise weakness is a turtle. Alison Cooper was considered for Pennywise. Like most of Stephen King's books, it was an option of an I can't speak today again. Original, it can be due to direct by Night of the Living Dead. Where is it? Okay. Tim Curry thought of Pennywise as a smile gone bad. Thanks to his outsized performance, Curry may have done as much for Pennywise as King did. Curry scared the poor kid who played Georgie. Reflecting on his time Pennywise in 2017, Curry said that his managed to scare Tony Dakota, the child who played ill-fated Georgie. There's the classic scene where Georgie floated his paper boat in the gutter and put his hand down to get it back. 6. Pennywise appears in other Stephen King's novels. Despite being vanquished at the consummation of it, King has trotted out of Pennywise in other titles. The most notable is in his 1987 novel, The Tommy Knockers, where a character tries through Derry and believes seeing a clown lurking in the storm drain. Will Poulter, I don't know who that is. It was almost Pennywise. It was inevitable that it was becoming Hollywood franchise. Director Carrie Joji joined the Protect in 2012. There's a third incarnation of Pennywise you probably never seen. Jim Curry and Bill Scout, I don't know how to say his last name, but are widely believed to be the only two characters who have played Pennywise for the screen. But the villainous clown has been portrayed by a third person in 1998. Production was made for a television in India titled Woh, W-O-H. It starred from the M.M. Fargui as the clown. 9. John Wayne Gaskey painted a self-portrait of Pennywise. He's known who was brought to trial for a series more than 30 brutal murders in the early 1980s. Pennywise will return on HBO Max in March 2022. And that is it on that one. Here is a little bit of a summary of him. This is the movie based upon the 1989 Stephen King book that might be starting a whole evil clown. I don't know how to pronounce that word. It is the story of a group of misfit children in Derry, Maine, facing evil one summer in the form of Pennywise the clown, who has already killed one character, youngest brother, and haunts other various terrifying forms. But Pennywise is also known as story of the same children 30 years ago or so. When Pennywise rises, the clown torments the adults and children versions of the characters emotionally, mentally, and physically. With both burials, it was Pennywise. Almost certainly the most well-known evil clown, save for Batman, the Joker, and more. Pennywise is modeled after a real-life serial killer named John Wayne Gacy, a.k.a. Pugo the Clown, a.k.a. the Clown Killer. He was convicted of sexually assaulting and killing 33 boys in 1980. He poses as a clown while doing so. Speaking of that guy, John Wayne, I'm thinking about in my next podcast doing research, doing some research and get as much information I can about him. and making a podcast for next Saturday. If you guys are interested in that, let me know, and I will do my very best to do so. So let me know. This next one I have saved, I'm going to be reading the 10 creepiest Pennywise quotes from It movies and mysteries ranked, and just reading a little bit about each quote and whatnot. So if you want to know that, I'm going to start with number 10 and go all the way down to 1. So let's get started. Hey, Georgie. It was in 2017, and It Miniseries, I don't know how to pronounce it, 1990, to say to Georgie. The first line said by Pennywise in both It and the original It. Hey, Georgie. While the words from their own aren't terrifying, but it came one of the creepiest lines when examined in contact. Pennywise is talking to Georgie from inside of a sewer drain and located nobody should be. The number 9. I'm very nightmare you ever had. I'm the worst dream to come true. It from 1990 said to the Loser Club, when it looks through photos and old Dury in It, mysterious Pennywise addresses the Loser Club through a photograph, telling them about the danger that they faced in him. 8. I'm Pennywise, the dancing clown. It from 2017 said it to Georgie. One of the least scary sounding quotes that's really terrifying is Pennywise introducing Georgie to It. The line is delivered immediately after Georgie says he isn't allowed to talk to or take things from strangers. 7. Tasty, beautiful fear. That one was from It from 2017. Said it to Eddie. Throughout It, Pennywise feeds off fear. This creepy quote shows that it isn't necessary. Pennywise seemingly takes joy in the idea of eating children's fear. He finds prospect terrifying and beautiful. Number 6, this isn't real enough for you, Billy. I'm not real enough for you. That one was from It in 2017, said it to Billy. During the Neil Bolt house incident, Pennywise says this quote, which is unquestionably creepy. Previously, the monster interacted in a way that induced fear, but didn't directly harm anyone from them. Number 5, for 27 years, I dreamt of you. I craved for you. This one was in It, Chapter 2, 2019, said to the Loser Club. Pennywise' obsession with the Loser Club was fear-inducing in the first It movie, but it became terrifying when he lures back and tries to prey on them after 27 years. Number 4, I am the eater of worlds. That was in It Chapter 2, 2019, and It from 1990, and said it in the Losers Club. This Pennywise quote occurred from both It 2 and the original one for good reasons. It's one of the most terrifying. This quote directly relays to the loser club the extent its powers. 3, I'll feast on your flesh as I feed on your fears. That was in 2017, said it to the loser club. One of the most nightmare-inducing quotes in the entire It franchise is when Pennywise tells the loser club, a bunch of children, that he's going to eat them both physically and mentally. Number 2, I know your secret, your dirty little secret. That was in It Chapter 2, 2019. Said it to Richie. In It Chapter 2, it reveals Richie is gay, but still grappling with his sexuality and in the closet, giving Pennywise a different level of control over him, and the fear of being outed is very real for many people in the LGBT plus community. And then number 1, You'll Float Too, and that was in It in 2017, 2019, and 1990 in all 3. This is the only quote in the entire It franchise that appears in very adaptation, and it is good for it. This is good reason. Pennywise "You'll Float Too" line is an iconic, and it was terrifying. Some facts about freaky facts about Pennywise from Stephen King. Pennywise isn't a clown or a monster at all, but an internal cosmic entirely. When we think of it, we think Pennywise, but Pennywise is just a mask it wears. In reality, it's a true physical form of a human and a massive spider shape, and it takes the end of the closet. Its natural enemy is a turtle, a certain kind of turtle. Number 3, it is arrangement as the H word. It has appeared in multiple Stephen King's books. Tim Curry almost didn't take the role in Pennywise because of the makeup. Pennywise signature crazy red hair and all real though. Number 8, Alison Cooper was considered for that role. Tim Curry would entertain the child extra during slow times. Tim Curry has less than 20 minutes of screen time. The prosthetic teeth that Bill wears made him drool. Bill had nightmares during the after filming, but not the reason that you think. Pennywise eyes moving to different directions isn't CGI. Filming the first movie was a lonely experience for Bill. The last actors considered the role of Pennywise was legendary. Bill freaked Bill Harder out on the set with his eye trick. It had a better filming the second movie. He's so intense, he even freaked out the VFX team for a sequel. And that was it for that one. And then, hopefully best for last, there is approximately 15 things that makes no sense about Pennywise, give or take. If it starts somewhere, the 10 scariest moments in It Chapter 1 and 2 ranked. Pennywise is one of the first Stephen King's most inspired and unique characters. That's hard to deny that it is a horror master gangnam ops of villains. No outside scrutiny. Pennywise is able to cast a shadow of influence over the town of Derry, which makes its adult inhabitants look the other way when it comes to the disappearance of children. It's an insidious device that creatures uses to mask his trail and make people forget what's really going on. Why not come through the front door? Even children has nightmares about the monster under the bed, which makes it perfect tool for Pennywise to exploit. Yet such as an attack never seems to occur. The creature does not invade children's home at night. They sleep and snatch from their beds, nor does he wait in the closet for the lights to go off. Why eat? The creature's true form of largely unfathomable to humans, and the sheer sight of its deadlines can lead to utter madness. Clearly, humanity is not dealing with an average monster, but something far beyond the scope of our collective understanding. Why not kill more adults? Pennywise never seems to bother offing the older folks in Derry, but he has taken out older teenagers and young adults as well as children. It established earlier on Pennywise prefers the taste of children over other types of prey, but such a diet would undoubtedly raise too many questions. The creature's psychic influence over the adults in the town might have more something to do with it, but it seems like a lot of energy to expand it in order to go after a particular delay with a town full of constitutum subject. Pennywise wouldn't need to be particular. Why a clown? While a fear of clowns is one of the most common human phobias, it makes a little sense for Pennywise to choose such a form given that it doesn't seem to scare very many children. For instance, Pennywise makes multiple kills throughout the novel and movies that will not include salting the meat, a reference to spike fear in children to make it taste better. Young Georgie is the first example of this when he meets Pennywise at the beginning of the first movie. Either the creature was starving and wanted a quick meal, or he wasn't interested in playing the game no more. This doesn't make sense given that Pennywise spends a good chunk of time building fear within the loser club. His survival on Earth. So sometimes that really stinks about the Pennywise as an actor is that he has been on Earth for a million, if not billion of years, but his character who feeds entirely off humans sense fear. However, if he has been on Earth for even half as long as it seems he has to survive that for that long. This scope of mind control. One of the more curiosity aspects of Pennywise as a character is he mind control. It's clear that his powers are quite advanced within Dury. But this fact that had loser club completed and forgets his existence once they leave the town suggests that it exists outside of the dairy as well. It's changing eliminations. Sometimes it's very hard to discern about Pennywise, and it is that his eliminations are and how they seem to constantly change. It's actually pretty safe and assume that this intentionally confusing aspect of his character, because the fact that he can create illusions that are indistinguishable from reality obviously means that he can make his targets believe he is or isn't capable of what he wants. His changing weaknesses. One of Pennywise's main weaknesses as a character, although it is true form of something nearest to God than to humans. When he transfers to a specific appearance, then he takes on the weakness of the form that he is appearing as. Obviously, he doesn't take those weaknesses entirely, but it's enough to make a significant effect on him. The forms that he takes on in general, and it seems it is in the same vein, if Pennywise needs to obey the law of whatever form he's inhabiting at the time, why he doesn't take on the forms of something that's super strong or nearly impossible to kill. Pennywise existing in this universe. Pennywise is originally in the microverses, which is essentially a giant universe that contains all of the other universes in a multiverse. He never leaves Dury. Something that seems pretty invented in the novel Mysteries, the movies, that Pennywise near leaves Dury. There is just never any real reason as to why. He's supposed to be as all-powerful kind of evil, and it seems like his power isn't limited just to Dury itself. Clap your hands if you believe it is one of the Stephen King's greatest stories, and Pennywise is undoubtedly one of the scariest villains, but the way he is defeated doesn't make any sense, especially what seems to kill him for good in the end is simply fact that the Lobster Club believes that they're doing will kill him. And that's for the most part everything that I have. So I took a couple screenshots, and from what I've been reading to you guys, I did some Googling, and asked how old is Pennywise, and for the most part, consistently, I've been seeing billion years old, but I also see one time saying he is around 200 years old, but seeing more saying that he is in the billions years old. So I just want to put that out there. And I think that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast episode, and if you guys did, let me know, and I will hopefully see you guys next Saturday. And I am going to, hopefully next Saturday, I will have that video uploaded of the clown serial killer person, John dude. So from now till then, I'm going to do a lot of research on him and have that video up for you guys for next Saturday. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you guys have any ideas on what kind of podcasts you want me to do in the future, let me know in the comments, and I will see you next Saturday. Bye.